Hi guys, so as the summer is fast approaching, I thought that this week I'd make a short video about a few fun and interesting things that will be going on in London this summer. I've done this for all my subscribers, so whether you already live in London in England and may or may not know about these particular events that are happening, who knows, it may be new to you, and you may, from this, you may want to go to one of the events. But of course this video is technically mostly for anyone that doesn't live in the UK, anyone that lives anywhere across the world, any of my subscribers that live wherever you live, that are planning to visit the UK or London for the summer. This is good for you because I'm going to give you 5 interesting fun things that I found out that are going to be happening in the summer in London this year. I thought would be good to let you know, rather than of course you just attending the typical stereotypical places like Big Ben and so on, which I'm sure all of you are aware of, and of course they're interesting to visit, and please feel free, go ahead, if you've never seen it before, go ahead to visit those places. But at the same time, you should definitely attend some of these events, or at least try to attend some of these events that will be happening in and around London over the summer. So without further ado, here is the top 5 places. The first event on my list that is happening in London over this summer is actually somewhere that's not technically central London, but rather Greater London, but still it's a fantastic place to visit. It's actually the Hampton Palace Festival, which is happening on the Wednesday the 8th of June until Thursday the 23rd. Tickets are pricey, they're between £45 to £75, however, I would highly recommend it. It's going to be great fun. Even if you just visit the palace in general, I mean, Hampton Court Palace is a great place to visit in general. It's one of the many places, or one of the many palaces even, excuse me, owned by King Henry VIII during his reign from 1509 to 1547. So you can wander around there looking at everything. You can wander around there seeing how, of course, the Tudors lived and how he reigned during his time of reigning over Britain. But the festival this year is the important thing that I would like to talk to you about. It is 11 nights long, and there will be many British legends there, such as Tom Jones and Captain Jenkins. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. You can bring your own picnics, and of course you'll be in the grounds of Hampton Court, so you can really see what British culture is like, and of course while listening to British music. You can also pay slightly towards the higher end of the ticket price that I mentioned earlier to get a ready-made picnic done for you, so you don't have to bring anything with you. And as I said, it's a fantastic and fun way to get to know truly British culture with a truly British surrounding. So secondly, another great event happening in London is actually also, again, at Hampton Court Palace, but rather slightly later on in the summer, the 5th to 10th of July, and this is the Palace Flower Show, which is another great way to have an opportunity of getting to know British culture of the past and even the present day, because you can have a walk around the palace first to see, as I said before, how Tudor Britain really was, and experience where one of the most well-known kings of England lived for most of his reign, and then you can head into the grounds of the palace to be welcomed by 34 acres of an array of flower displays. And actually Time Out magazine, a famous magazine, stated that the gardens or the displays will be of world-class gardens, as well as marquee showcasing work by some of the country's leading designers and nurseries. Of course, the way I'm probably describing it may not sound fantastic, but believe me, it will all be worth the beauty. To go and see something like that in Britain, it really is beautiful. Also, if there are any flowers, you will be able to purchase the flowers, some fresh produce and gardening equipment on the final day. And if you're planning to come with family, perhaps with young children, your younger sisters or brothers or whoever, on this Saturday there will be family organised activities such as seed sowing, trails through the ground, storytelling, and even some cookery classes for the young ones. So feel free to bring your family along with you. But as I've said, it's a very, very good way to get to know our culture, because you have the old culture while walking around the palace and the new one while looking at the gardens. And please pardon the shirt, this wasn't actually done on purpose, ironically. Thirdly, this summer, the Queen's House in Greenwich, not the Buckingham Palace, as you may be confused with by me saying the Queen's House. It is a small place in Greenwich opposite the Royal Naval College, which used to be one of King Henry VIII's palaces. Actually, it's where King Henry VIII was born. But the Queen's House is to do with Mary, I believe. I'm not sure. You would have to check that out. But yes, so that is reopening just in time for its 400th anniversary, meaning, of course, that it was constructed in 1616. And it is well in the heart of Greenwich, as I mentioned before. So after spending the last 3 years of my life studying in Greenwich, I can truly speak from experience when I say it is a beautiful part of London. And of course, as I said, there's been some renovation on the Queen's House for the last year or so, but it's opening just in time for the 400th anniversary. Greenwich Park is also a stunning park to visit, which not a lot of tourists know about actually, or people in general even that live in London. Not many people know about it because they're more focused on the more central London parks. But Greenwich Park really is beautiful, of which is directly behind the Queen's House and also therefore directly opposite the old Royal Naval College, which is of course the main campus of where I studied at University of Greenwich. So also, if you can, once you visit the park and the Queen's House, cross the road to the Naval College, because the college buildings are so vibrant and the architecture is amazing to look at. There's also the famous chapel and the painted hall there, so I would definitely recommend visiting that. The painted hall is absolutely incredible, it's so beautiful, as is the chapel. This actually attracts many passers-by and unsuspecting tourists, but they're not actually as aware of the park, as I said, until they arrive there or the Queen's House. So I would definitely recommend visiting there. However, regarding Greenwich, the main attraction or rather event I wanted to mention to you guys about was the Greenwich and Docklands International Festival, which is basically a festival that is spread through Greenwich across all of the Docklands of London. So it's quite a vast, vastly large festival. It spans across quite a large amount of the River Thames, of course, that is. The festival is actually a celebration of outdoor theatre, so it will be lots of different performances or dances, etc. Most of the events and performances are free, but some you will have to pay for. However, I'm very certain that they will all be fantastic. Fourthly, we have a fantastic event that will be especially good for sporting fans or fans especially of tennis, because we have the Wimbledon Championships from Monday, June the 27th to Sunday, July the 10th. Of course, Wimbledon being a world famous place in England for the championships of tennis. What could be more British than going to a tennis court in a summer's day, watching the tennis at the world famous Wimbledon? It couldn't be any more British than that. Okay, I admit, like the Palace Festival I mentioned, it will be expensive. However, I think it is once in a lifetime opportunity to visit a place like Wimbledon, especially if you're going to watch the championships rather than just visiting the ground itself. You are watching the finals or any kind of match at Wimbledon. So this brings me to the last event that I found interesting, or I thought would be fun, that is going to be happening in London this summer, is the London Anniversary Games. So did you miss out on visiting London in 2012 when the Olympics were on? Well then forget Rio 2016, it's all about London 2016, because on July the 22nd and July the 23rd, the 2012 Olympic site will once again be opened, or will be used for a variety of different sporting activities over the period of 2 days, with the world famous Usain Bolt being in attendance. So that is a great opportunity again for sports fans. Again, the Time Out magazine stated that the IAAF Diamond League action will take over the track and field over the 2 days, and then finally the IPC Grand Prix final will be incorporated into Saturday's programme. I believe this would be a great opportunity for you to see for yourself in person exactly what the Olympic Park looks like in comparison to what you may have seen or may not have seen on television during the Olympics in 2012. From experience, from going to the stadium during the Paralympics, I can tell you it's very well worth it. It's really worth it. It's amazing. The site is incredible, and nothing like how it appears on television. It's not the same at all. Of course, that was my fifth and final one, but although I said I would only mention 5 events, I would also just like to mention a really obvious event in London this summer, which is absolutely, or will be absolutely incredible, at least for my LGBT followers or subscribers, which is of course London Pride. So come one and all and show how proud you are of who you are. To refer to the motto of the Being Me campaign, which was set up by the amazing, beautiful and wonderfully inspiring woman known as Tracy Shayler and equally amazing Kieran Stanbridge, it's okay to be you. So come and show how proud you are. Don't worry about homophobic people, they mean nothing. It's okay to be you. Come and show you're proud, and come to London Pride and be yourself. So after that rather, I hope, enthusiastic video, you enjoyed it. That pretty much concludes everything until next week. So if you liked it, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next week. Bye!